the most important points that I would like people to know is the lack of customer service. Secondly, they just, I'm kind of dumbfounded on how to word things. I'm not very good at that, but their maintenance, the only thing I have really good to say about that company was their maintenance. When you had an issue, they did send maintenance. They did take care of maintenance issues. But as far as their issues, and what I would want people to know is that when you are no longer a customer of theirs, you don't exist anymore. And that they will do everything and anything in their power to keep your deposit, add anything additional to make that deposit, to add to what you owe, and on top of keeping your deposit. They want to charge you for things that were not, and I think they do. Another thing is I think they don't do a walkthrough with you for that reason. So therefore they can't say, well, you knew about this, or we knew about this, rather. I'm sorry. We knew about this because they were not with you. You just got the keys and moved into the house. Like I said, the only thing they're concerned about is FedExing or bringing down the deposit and the first month's rent and giving you the keys, and you're on your way. You're done. And then when it comes time to move out, like I said, I provided pictures. They provided me with one picture, which was next to the water heater that had a stain. I provided them pictures of the whole entire house that was clean. They provided me with one picture and charged me $246. First, I had rented a home from American Homes for Rent. When I first moved into the house, it was probably a week and a half to 2 weeks into the house. I'm a single mom with a 13-year-old son. I noticed that we both started feeling sick. Even our dog was feeling sick. We didn't think anything was wrong with the house. So we were actually leaving, and this is not the main issue of the whole situation. This is how it started. We were leaving the house. I wrote some of this stuff down, so I made sure I don't forget. We were leaving the house, and this gentleman and his wife pulled up in the driveway, and I was like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Yeah, my name is Mr. Griffith. I used to live here. I was just coming to see if the house had been condemned." And I'm like, "What do you mean condemned?" And he goes, "This house has got a black mold report on it. It's full of black mold." And I'm like, and he's like, "Do you want me to show you?" And so he came inside and he showed me places where they had found it, and then where they had an inspection done. Now, what American Homes for Rent had done was just painted over it and re-rented the house. So I was like, I contacted American Homes for Rent. They acted like they had no idea what I was talking about. But then when I said Mr. Griffith's name, they were like, "Oh, well, he shouldn't have disposed or whatever, any of that information to you." And I'm like, "Well, I'm kind of glad he did, because me and my son both are sick and we couldn't figure out why." So I'm like, "We want out of here, and we want out of here immediately." So we found another house. Of course, it was more money. So they thought they were being nice and telling me, "We're not going to make you pay a transfer fee." And I'm like, "Well, that's really nice of you considering what you've done. And, but we will make you pay, since there is a difference in the rent payment, we will make you pay the difference in deposit." I'm like, "All right, whatever, just get us out of here." So I had to pay the difference in deposit. I had to once again pay for movers to come move us out of that house. There was no pre-inspection done with me prior to, like, with anyone from American Homes for Rent moving into this home. We noticed when we got in there that the ceilings are very, like 13 feet high, and the chains on them were like that high. And we were like, "I hope we never," I'm only 5'3". I'm like, "Well, I hope we never have to get up there and, adjust the on off or any of that." We didn't pay any attention to it. Eventually I was going to get extensions, but I never got around to doing it. On the back sliding glass doors, there were 3 slats that were missing. There were those twisted long, you know what I'm talking about? Um, so the gist of the story was, um, that was a year ago. My lease came up for renewal, and I told them I was not going to renew my release. I was moving out May 31st, gave them notice, fill out the paperwork that they emailed me, filled it out completely when I would be out. I couldn't figure out, she told me just to access the box on the front door, put the keys in that box, and the garage door opener on the kitchen counter. I put the garage door opener on the kitchen counter. I could not figure out how to access the box. So I left one of my plants on the front porch, and I told her, I said, I put one of the keys under there. I said, because I could not figure out that box to save my life. And I said, can you tell me how long it takes for me to get my deposit back, which is $1,715. She said, we have to have someone go and inspect the house first. And I'm like, well, there's nothing to worry about. I'm like, the house is cleaner than it was when I moved in it. And I said, I had it professionally cleaned. I said, I have pictures of all that. And I sent them to her. And next thing I know, I get this letter in the mail that said it was certified, but I never signed for it. It was just in the mailbox, but it had one of those certified things on it, but no one signed for it, with a whole list of things. I mean, all the way down to where they didn't go into the house until June 6th. So they were charging me rent from June 1st to June 6th. I wasn't there. Utilities till June 6th. Charged me $246 for a professional house cleaning, leaves in the gutters, missing roof shingles, missing those 3 missing blinds I was telling you about on the sliding glass doors, the ceiling fan strings, are the pulls. They're saying I changed them out. Why would I change them out? And they're charging me for burnt out light bulbs. They're charging me. They're saying that the sink stopper in the kitchen is missing. No, I have a picture of it in the drawer. It's one of the pictures of the cleaning that we took. It's right there in the drawer. Turns out they're not only asking me for or keeping the $715 deposit. They're on top of that, they're asking me for an additional $967 in additional damages. Now, and stained toilet seats. I have no idea. I mean, it's just, the list is, it was like 6 pages of little snippets. Oh, and in the plant that I left behind, they're charging me for bulk trash removal for leaving that plant where I put the key. And they're saying that the key was never left, that they had to change the lock to get in the house, which is not true. So I have tried for over a week to contact the regional and the district manager of the local Orlando office with no return phone calls back. I've reached out to their corporate office in California. They keep telling me, oh, I'm so sorry. We'll have someone call you. We'll have someone call you. No one calls me. So I'm just like, I've had enough. You know, I could see if I was one of those people who just left it trashed and whatever. But no, I would have been like, okay, whatever, I did wrong. But I didn't. I have pictures of the house where it was spotless when I moved out. Totally clean. And they still are just fighting to keep my money and charge me additional monies on top of it. And I looked on the Better Business Bureau, which I should have looked before I rented from them. There is over 900 complaints of this same issue with them. Same issue with the same company, where they have told people all kinds of lies, saying this was done, that was done, and that they're holding their deposit. They're not getting their deposit back. They're charging them additional fees and and everything else. And it's just, it needs to stop. They cannot continue, because like I said, I'm not playing the single mom, victim, but I counted on that 1715 coming back to me because I bought a house instead of renting and renewing my lease with them. And I just think that, it's not only not getting my money back, but the courtesy of being a regional manager and a district manager and not caring about your previous tenants. I mean, when I moved in, there was no curb appeal, as the HOA called it. So I went and I bought plants and mulch and planted and things like to make it look nicer. And, it's just, I kept up with the house, kept the hedges all trimmed. And, I did what I was supposed to do. But I mean, they're cleaning me for leaves in the gutters. Or charging me for leaves in the gutters. I mean, I don't, and 3 missing shingles. I have nothing to do with the top of that house. I don't go up on the top of the house to look up there and see what's going on. I mean, we're in Florida. We have storms. So, I mean, I don't know. And I've reached out to you guys. I've reached out to the Better Business Bureau, which they're still under review. They said that they have till July 19th to respond back to them. But I'm at a loss on what to do. I mean, I would hire an attorney if I could afford an attorney, but I don't know what to do with them. So, like I said, I have a whole list. I mean, this is, like I said, she said it's certified, but it wasn't certified. It's like a whole list of, like rubber stopper missing, $10. Replacement strings for fan, $10. Replace vertical blinds, $30. Remove surface covering, $20. Replace fridge bulb, $6. Something about replace bathroom porcelain insert. I don't know what that means. $250. Replace oval toilet seat, $25. Replace outlet because it has a bad current reading, $20. Shower control head cartridge, leaking. I mean, it's just secure hardware, $1. Patch bathtub, I don't know what that means, $25. Patch and paint, $350, which I made sure I had someone come in and, like, where I had hung pictures, I had them patch and paint. So I have pictures of that too, where they were actually painting and patching. That was the plant. Bulk trash removal, $125. So, I mean, it went on and on and on and on. Another bad current reading for an outlet. And I don't know what that means. I mean, apparently if the didn't work, we didn't use it, or we never tried to use it. So like I said, I have no idea what to do here with them.
What is the reason of such a treatment towards you and towards their customers? What do you think?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't. But like I said, you can see, I don't know if you can see right here, that's my deposit, and that's the additional things that they're saying I owe them an additional $967.
And what is the best solution for you?
Give me my deposit back, because I don't owe them anything. I mean, I have pictures of how clean that house was when I moved out. I didn't damage anything. I didn't take anything. Nothing was broken. Nothing was missing. When we moved in, my stepdad changed the locks for safety reasons to a brand new lock. So that's what they had. And they had keys to that brand new lock. And the garage door was on the counter, just like told. So, I mean, I had only had one garage door opener. So that was the only one I had. And they got it back. So I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I replaced the air filter 2 weeks prior to moving out. They're saying that the air filter was dirty, and they're charging me like an extra $20 for that. Now, I don't see how in 2 weeks the air filter got that dirty to where they want to say I didn't change it. And I have witnesses that can validate that that house was clean when I moved out. And I have people who can validate the little tiny ceiling fan cords of, like, how the heck are you supposed to, like, if you want to slow it down or speed it up, or, and I'm like, I have no idea. So we just leave them as they are, because I can't reach them even on a 10-foot ladder.
What recommendations could you give to other customers that may use their services in the future?
Don't. Do your research. Read about them before you even think about renting from them. I mean, first of all, I think it was pretty crappy for them to put someone in a house that they knew had black mold. And then on top of that, then they moved me to another house. And so I got over the black mold issue. That was, it's fine. I got over it. I got into a house that I liked. Yeah, it was about $300 more a month that I wanted to spend, but I did it. I managed for a year. And then now all I want is my deposit back, and they're fighting me over that and charging me an extra $967. And it's just not fair. It's not fair that they can treat people the way that they're treating people. It's sad, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that aren't going on to the Better Business Bureau, or are not contacting you, or not contacting anybody else, and just paying it. I mean, I'm sure there's people that just say, oh, but I mean, if they would have had a walkthrough with me prior to me moving in, then those things could have been pointed out together, that the 3 blind slats were missing, and the cords on the ceiling fans were short, and the stains were on the toilet seats. It's like someone sprayed it with bleach, and just parts of it were white and parts of it were, discolored. But I mean, but there was no walkthrough. It was just me getting the keys and moving in. There was no one there to show me the house prior to me moving in. It was one of those last minute things to get me out of that mold house.
Why did you decide to go public and share this experience?
When they won't return my call or give me any kind of, respect in trying to take care of this with me and handle this with me, and, help me here and come to some sort of agreement, and, make me understand why they're doing what they're doing. And, but with the lack of concern of their previous tenants, I was never late on rent, never late on utilities, never late on anything. So, I mean, I never caused any problems. It just seems to me like it's unfair that they treat people this way. And I mean, and I read some of those stories on the Better Business Bureau, and they're sad. Some of them are so, so sad, where people had to fight for years to get their money back. And then some, like I said, there's probably people out there that didn't even bother doing anything, just paid it and moved on. And as long as they can continue, the reason I came public is as long as they can continue to do this to people, they're not going to stop. They're going to continue to do it to people. And I mean, like I said, I contacted their corporate office every day last week, and then again today, and no one still calls me back from their corporate office, not just their local division here in Orlando. They're from their corporate, and no one calls me back. And I've let them know. I didn't hide what I was doing. I let them know that I was going to be talking to you this afternoon, and that, that I would love to be able to tell you, hey, we got it resolved. Everything is good. Never heard from them.